birthday.
Hi. Hi. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Are you ready to get up?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jackson. Happy birthday to you.
You're going to blow the candles. Go, Jack.
Go.
Oh! So our sweet little Jackson is now 2 years old. I remember the very first time I laid eyes on him in the hospital, and he was just so beautiful, and I remember turning to my husband and saying, oh, this little boy is just going to have me wrapped around his little finger. And it is so true. Everybody who meets Jackson automatically fall in love with him. He is just the sweetest, kindest little boy you could ever meet. I keep calling him Bubba or baby, but I can't do that anymore because he's 2 now and he, really is a toddler, but he'll always be my sweet little baby boy. So let's talk about foster care. So for those of you who didn't know, we are actually a foster family. So we have 2 children that are ours, and our 2 little boys are ours but came to us through the foster care system. Now, I don't want to share too much about their real private story and journey of coming into foster care, because I feel that that's just a private story for them, and I won't share too much about that, but I can kind of share the heart behind why we love foster care and just our experience of the foster care system. Now, these little boys were absolutely dearly loved by their family, but their mother just couldn't take care of them for whatever reasons they were. And so we were lucky enough to be able to take them in, and they're actually with us permanently. They permanently live with us and will live with us. We are their guardian, and so they call us mummy and daddy, and this is their family, and it's an absolutely beautiful story. Now, I want my boys to grow up with absolutely no shame over their circumstances. And the one thing that I do really teach them is that they are fiercely and dearly loved, and they were loved by their family. But as I said, for circumstances, Mummy just wasn't able to take care of them. So she made that really brave decision of letting somebody else take care of them for her. And that's how we got to become your parents, is what we say to them. And so I don't want them to have any shame over their story. Or feel bad, and I want them to know their family. And so that's kind of the stance that we take. There's no shame over this, and this is how our family has been created. And we've had such an amazing experience with becoming foster carers, but I know that our story is quite unique, and sometimes people don't find the process as easy. But I just want to encourage you, don't let that stop you. The one thing that we are finding is that there is a great need in our community to have foster carers. And there are foster carers out there, but we need more good, quality, loving families that are willing to open up their homes to these children that need a loving family to take care of them. And so I just encourage you, if you have always have been something that you've always wanted to do, that it's always been on your heart, but you're a little bit frightened, I just encourage you to start the process of becoming a foster carer. The mantra that we have in our family is, I can do hard things. And just because something is hard doesn't mean that we don't do it. And so, yes, it may be hard kind of stepping into this area of foster care, but just because it's hard doesn't mean we don't do it. And so I just encourage you with that mantra, you can do hard things. And so I just encourage you, if you are wanting to look into foster care, please go along to your local area introduction evening and just start the ball rolling. And a little bit later I will do some more videos on how to get registered for foster care and how to navigate the system and how to do it really, really well. And so if you have any questions that you would like to know about fostering, foster care, any question at all, I would love to answer those questions. So please just leave a comment in the comments below and I will get back to you. So how did we find ourselves in this sphere of foster care? What was it that drove us to wanting to be a foster care family? I bet you're asking that, and that is a good question. So my husband was actually the one who was really wanted to do this for a very, very long time. He wanted to, of course, have our own children, but after we were kind of done having our own children, he always had it on his heart to actually adopt children. And as you may know, we live in Western Australia, and here in Australia it's actually incredibly difficult to adopt children in country and adopt children out of country, and so that really wasn't an option for us. And so I kind of put it on the back burner. I did think, you know what, this is too difficult, this is too hard, I don't want to look at it. And it wasn't until we, as a family, actually spent a year living in Redding, California, and we attended a Bible school there called Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry, and had the most amazing time there. And we also actually went through the most amazing transformation personally. And it was while I was there that I started going along to some meetings who were run by a couple called Bob and Kimberly Johnson. And they had this amazing vision for radically changing the foster care system in their county. And I just captured their heart and their vision and their passion for taking care of the orphan. And it was just something that I couldn't run away from. God had really just captured my heart over this issue of taking care of children that had nobody to take care of them. And it was just like he had just apprehended my heart, and I just couldn't walk away from it. And in that personal transformation, year that we had, just learning more about who God is and who I am and the things that I am capable of and the things that He has equipped me and strengthened and called me to do, just really made me do just a 180 and just really get back onto, yeah, absolutely, I think this is something that I can do with the help of obviously my husband and my family, and most importantly God, that I can do hard things and I can step out into this area of foster care and open up my heart and open up my home to children. And I guess that's the really thing that at the beginning, when it was all too frightening for me, was that whole issue of opening up my heart, because that's really difficult. Opening up your heart and possibly getting it broken was the thing that I was like, that's too difficult, I can't handle that, I don't want to go there. And so that was something that I really worked on with, I really working on, what, God is in control, and I have to trust in what He says and trust that He is a good God and that He is taking care of everything. It's so natural for us just to try and kind of work out everything in our head, and we attach all our emotions to everything. And so for me, I kind of come into this process not actually focusing on the system or the parents who weren't taking care of their children or the circumstances that these children were coming from. I just really had to really focus and focus in just on the child. And that's what God really called me to do. He's like, stop for the one. Love the one that's in front of you, and I'll take care of the rest. And so I really just concentrated on, okay, God, I'm going to open myself up to this process, and you send me children, and I am just going to love on them and take care of them and share Jesus with them to the best of my ability. Not worry about all the other things that are kind of going on around us and the system and the parents and what they have done or didn't do and all that kind of stuff, but just focus on the child, their needs, and what I can provide for them. And that's all God called me to do, and that's all that I do. I just focus on my sweet little boys and how I can love them the best that I can and share Jesus with them. Because so often we get caught up, and I'm not lost to the fact that me getting these beautiful boys and adding them to my family means that there's another family out there that are without their children, and that hasn't lost its impact on me. I think about that a lot and pray for their family and their loss, because with somebody's gain, there's always somebody's loss. But I can't get caught up in that and thinking about that and mourning over that. Because if I do, the process of becoming a foster care just becomes so much harder. We're all in our head, in our emotions, and I'm not saying that those things aren't important, but I was just focused on what has God asked me to do. And the thing that was before me was open up your heart, open up your home, and take in these children and love them as your own. And God really said to me, I will take care of the rest. Don't worry about that. And you just do what I've called you to do. And so I'm just being obedient to that call. And I guess that's why we are so loving the process and the journey and are really enjoying this season of being foster carers. As I said, these boys are permanently with us, so this is our family, this is what it looks like. But if it wasn't like that and I was having children coming in and out of the home, well, the call that I have in my life is still exactly the same, is love this child, love the one that is in front of you, and I will take care of the rest, is what I stick with. And in saying that, that's what I do. I focus on my boys, but I'm also constantly praying for their mum. I haven't completely forgotten about her or their family. That's definitely not the case. I have peace over that, and I pray through all of the issues that I know they're facing, and then I hand it all back to God and say, here you are, God. I'm going to let God be God in this situation. You're going to take care of them, and just believe that He is a good Father and He will take care of them. And so I do pray for that family and that mother for complete restoration in her life. And And hopefully one day when she is restored and is thinking clean, can make great decisions, and she comes knocking on my door, you know, then we open that door and she is welcome in. And she's welcome in at no matter what stage she is in her recovery. I'm not saying that she has to come when, you know, she's all put together, because that's not the case. If she came looking for us, our doors would be wide open and we would have her come in absolutely. Our heart for foster care is that all families be reunited. And so if we have children that come to us and it's just for a short season and they go back to their parents, that is amazing and wonderful. That is our ultimate goal, and that's what we want for our children. For my boys, this is their family now, and so they get to stay. But you know, if we decide to take in other foster care children, you know, that's the heart behind why we do this. We take these children in, they become ours, they become part of our family, and we love them as our own. And if they stay with us forever, that is amazing. If they go home to be with their family, well, that is even better. And we just have to trust and fully rely on God that He will take care of all of the things. He will take care of our hearts as we hand children back. He will take care of our hearts as we hold on to children and love them and parent them for the rest of their lives. You know, we give Him the families that these kids come from. We give them the whole, you know, give Him the whole of the foster care system, and just, you know, stand on that word that He is a good God and all His promises are yes and amen. And you know, He takes care of everything, and just learning to live with peace and rest through the whole process has been really key in stepping out and doing this foster care journey really, really well. And so that's kind of the heart behind how we got to become foster care parents. We were just, as I put it, arrested by God over this taking care of the orphan, and just with Him, you know, together as a family, as a strong unit, and with God on our side, we've just been able to navigate the foster care system and end up where we are. So there you go. That's a little bit of our story of how we ended up becoming foster care parents. Again, if you have any questions, please ask. I would love to share with you our journey of becoming foster care parents. I will put a link below in the description box just to the if you live in particularly Western Australia where I am, I'll put the link there for you, that you can go and read up about foster care, and there will also be information sessions that you can go to. And I just encourage you, go to an information session. You're not locking yourself into anything by going to one of those sessions, but it's just a really great opportunity to go to hear what the foster care system looks like right now, and to hear from foster carers and children that have been in foster care as well. And I know for me, going into this process, I had all of these assumptions and ideas of what the foster care system looked like, and I was actually completely surprised that that's just exactly what they were. They were assumptions and they weren't actually true. And the foster care system, they've been working, you know, for many, many, many years to perfect the system, and they're doing a really, really good job, and each year they are learning, and it's getting better and better and better. So I just encourage you to lay your assumptions aside and just go along to one of the information sessions and find out for yourself what, you know, how the system works. And I just encourage you, just pray and ask God, you know, what is it that you want me to do, and just encourage you that you can do hard things, and you can do this process. If I can do it, I know that you can do it too. So thank you for watching our video. If you like our channel, please if you could subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. Just press this subscribe button. I can't words. Please press the subscribe button that's below and give this video a thumbs up. And we'll see you next time. Bye.